You guys are doing your second short story workshop this week, and you probably got a mouthful from me about the first, or a inbox full, or whatever, screen full. I just want to quickly reiterate the guideline that all of our criticism begins with description, and that everything here is a work in progress. And just one quick suggestion, I encourage you to check, read back over your the results of workshop one of the first short story workshop, and looking not just at your own story and what people had to say about it, or what you had to say about other people's stories, but everyone's. I was in workshops for several years in grad school and shortly thereafter. And one thing I remember best is how much I learned, and I'm not alone in this, I've heard other people say the same thing, how much I learned from other people's workshops, from the times when somebody else's story was up. And maybe this is a sad thing about human nature, that it's much easier for you to be perspicacious and alert and critically minded when your stuff is not at stake. But I don't mean it in that cynical way. I mean, when your story is up, your heart's going like this, and you've probably invested a lot of emotion in it, and you're trying to be a good citizen and not be defensive, and to accept people's viewpoints and try to let them percolate and see what works. When you're looking at somebody else's story, and even best of all, looking at other people looking at somebody else's story, what your workshop group has to say about their story, what your instructor has to say, you really kind of are in the catbird seat, and you can learn. You should learn from what they're doing right, and maybe skills that they've developed that you haven't, that you could use some work on, and also mistakes, and I mean that in the most generous sense. Improvements that they needed to make. These are all things that are going to come back and be issues for all of us. So it's really worth learning the most from the entire span of the workshop, everybody's comments and everybody's stories, and you have here with this online format, you have the resource built in for that, so you can go back and read those. I encourage you to do that, and to reflect on that before you offer your workshop comments this week. All right, good luck.